to my life and is an amazing person. And I have to tell you that coming from the South, I never before heard the word sex and positive in the same damn sentence, if you know what I mean. My sex education coming from the Bible Belt was, just don't till you're married. And then God will bless it. He'll come down from heaven and the angels will part the sky, angels will sing, and it'll be amazing, right? Now, how many of you came from that kind of background of sex education? You know what I mean? Yeah. Actually, this very lady I'm getting ready to introduce and give a word to, we share this religious background. One of the ways, many ways we connected. And I'm here to tell you, in fact, we're both in a documentary that's coming out soon called Jesus Let Me Have Sex Before I Die. Both of us were interviewed for this documentary. Yes. My first degree is theology. I was featured on the 700 Club twice. I've had lunch with Pat Robertson. In fact, Sean Little, my brother from another mother, has said many times, let's set up a meeting with Pat Robertson and you now, because I think if he sees you now versus back then, it'll send him on to Jesus. We'll be rid of him. Yes, that could be a lot of fun. Actually, because I had long Farrah Fawcett hair, I kind of had Isaac's hair.
Yeah.
I was the blonde, all-American karate girl champion, if you can picture it back in the day. Wow. Yes, with the star and stripe karate outfit. Yes, I know, thank you. Yes. And I grew up Christian, so I was kicking for Jesus, if you know what I mean. Kicking ass for Jesus. Yes, I love it. So when I moved here, I met this woman who put the word sex and positive in the same sentence. And I thought, she's crazy. This is nuts. Somebody actually told me about her, and I said, I've got to meet this woman. And so I contacted her and said, someone told me about you. Let's set up a meeting. I need to talk to you about this. This is nuts. And so we had a meeting. And I actually did an interview with her for a project I was doing at the time about this whole concept of sex and positive. What a crazy idea. You can put all that in a positive way. You can think about sex and desire and all of this in a positive way. What a revolutionary idea. Nobody in the South has ever heard of this. So we need to talk. So I met this woman, and she blew me away. She's got a spirit bigger than this whole place. She's got a heart bigger than this whole place. And I'm going to try to do this and not get choked up. And I fell in love. Yeah. Oh. Some of you that know her, yes. She's one of the most giving, loving, open-hearted people I've ever met in my life. And she introduced me to this concept that if somebody would have introduced me to this concept a long time ago, I would have been in a lot less trouble. It's called polyamory. Me in the South trying to be monogamous, God, the trouble I got in. Anyway, I am so polyamorous, and she is the mama of polyamory and kink in the Pacific Northwest, actually in the United States of America. She built this thing from nothing. Nothing. If you don't know about it, you should Google. Right now, go ahead and get something out to Google called the Center for Sex Positive Culture. And yes, thank you. In 1999, she was approached about doing this project by a bunch of kinky fuckers. Imagine that. Yes. And I want you to understand that the word, when I say kinky, just means you're not plain vanilla, which there's a lot of latitude in kinky, right? So they asked her, would you head this up? We have this idea of creating this center where people who want to be free in their sexuality and to explore it and to learn about it have a place, a safe place to go. And she created that. She said yes to that. Well, before that, if those of you that have been in, yes, that's a big project. Yes, thank you. Before that, she co-owned a place called the Beyond the Edge Cafe. Some of you may remember that have been here a long time. It was right close to Babeland, where Babeland is now. And the Beyond the Edge Cafe was very popular. Dan Savage actually helped make it even more popular by writing about her chocolate chip cookies. Because he used to go there and sit and write, and she made these amazing chocolate chip cookies. Telling you. So she won me over by her spirit, and then she cooked for me, and I was done. I'm a Southern guy. I was done, right? So she's an amazing cook. So she made these chocolate chip cookies that Dan Savage wrote about in Savage Love, and she told me the story that one day she's like at the cafe and people keep coming and asking for the cookies and she's running out of cookies, and she says to the next person who comes up, "What the hell's going on? Why am I running out of cookies? What's the big rush on the cookies?" And somebody told her, "Well, Dan Savage wrote this column about your chocolate chip cookies." So yeah, she had to make a lot more. But anyway, she started this foundation and center for sex positive culture. She now, for the last, what are we at, 11 years? No, I'm talking about now Seattle Erotic Arts Festival. She's also the
13 years.
13 years. We've now had the Seattle Erotic Arts Festival here, which now has 10,000 people that come to it every year. If you've missed it, you've been missing something. I'm going to tell you, you've really been missing something. It's at the Seattle Center now, and it's an amazing event that artists come to from all over the world. And that has been 13 years in Seattle. And it's grown to this just classy, amazing event. The center is a place where you can take classes in anything from how to give a good blowjob to how to tie someone up safely. Yes. And have a good time. Yes. It's an amazing place, and just the freedom. And here's the amazing thing too. This woman, her entire sexual exploration and journey started with her being curious, and at 18 years old going to a bar and sitting next to a trans woman. And she had all these questions. She was a curious 18-year-old that knew nothing. And she, from a religious background. And she had all these questions, and this wonderful trans woman didn't shame her for the way she asked the questions, that she didn't use the right language or the exact word of the time. This woman was generous and realized that she was sincere and just wanted to know. And that changed her life. And she always created a space for everybody in the community. Everybody. Let's give her a hand for that. She created parties and events for LGBTQ people way before it was cool. Way before it was cool. And stepped out and actually stood up for people and stood up and stopped discrimination against people in the community all over here in Seattle. And so I want you to give a really, really warm round of applause to Allena Gabosch, the Executive Director of the Center for Sex Positive Culture and the Foundation for Sex Positive Culture. One of my partners, I'm lucky to say.
I have to speak? Oh, I may never get off stage then, because I like to talk. But normally I tell dirty stories, but there's children here, so I'll be nice and not. I'm so honored, and I was really surprised when I heard about this, and it made me realize, like, I won't give any details. The last couple of years have been kind of tough for me. And it really made me realize that I need to step it up again. And being honored like this, I'll get all choked up. I love you, Mac, so much. Means that I have to never forget that my mission in life, I think everybody should have a personal mission statement. I don't know if you do, but you should. And my personal mission statement is to take away shame from sexuality and bring joy around the world. And so I'm going to step it up, and I'm going to start doing more things. I have one kind of cool thing is I got asked to speak at Amherst College about kinky sex. And so I'm going to Massachusetts at the end of this month to speak on the other side of the country. And I was blown away, and I'm so excited. And I like to speak, and I like to talk about sex and the things I do. So thank you all so much, and I'm so honored. Thank you.